Hi, I'm Eli Glaser, founder and director of the Surveyor Solution, where we are revolutionizing the way the world looks at weight loss. So I want to ask you all now for today's video blog, or as people under 30 say, a vlog. I want to ask you today to use your imagination for a few minutes. Look behind me. Imagine that it's the Oval Office of the White House. And imagine that I'm not Eli Glaser, a weight loss coach, but I'm President Donald Trump. So for some of you, that may make you excited. And for others of you, that might give you a nightmare. So whichever it is, I'm not trying to cause you any consternation or pain or excitement, but just imagine for a second. Why am I saying that? Because I'm going to talk about walls. Right? It's a hot topic these days. The president just gave a Oval Office speech about the importance of border security and building a wall. And I want to talk about walls as well. Now, just as an aside, I'm not here in any way to make a political statement to condone or condemn any position, but I do want to draw one point that the president shared last night in his address. He said, people build walls not because they hate the people on the outside, but because they love the people on the inside. And I want to take that idea and really apply it to our topic, which is building a healthy relationship with food. So I know that one of the primary reasons for relapse that exist in the dieting world is because people have a visceral fear and dislike for boundaries, for borders. They feel restricted. They feel upset. They feel constricted and resentful and bitter when they have to diet. They're putting themselves in jail. Think about all of the terminology that goes along with dieting. I'm strict. I'm strong. I'm good. I'm bad. I'm sacrificing myself. I mean, that piece of chocolate cake is really what I want. I want to eat uncontrollably without any boundaries, without any walls, without any restrictions, but I'm holding myself back now because I have to diet, I have to lose weight. So I'm being good, I'm being strict, I'm holding myself back. I'm sacrificing. Well, that's an expression of consternation. That's an expression of feeling constricted. That is being resentful of a boundary. The only way that we can have a healthy, sustainable relationship with food is if we embrace the boundaries, if we voluntarily and celebrate the wall that we put up between ourselves and the unhealthy choices and the unhealthy behaviors of food that got us into the problem in the first place. We don't want to feel bitter about it. We want to celebrate it. We want to embrace it. We want to feel grateful that we have it. We want to appreciate the wall, appreciate the boundary. Now, we understand that without boundaries in our lives, we couldn't accomplish anything, and we'd be in very dangerous situations on a daily basis. Think about the walls we have. Think about the boundaries that just exist in our life all the time. When you get in a car, you got the double yellow line. Well, that's a boundary. That's constricting you so you don't go on the other side. But you don't feel bitter about that. You welcome that. And you welcome that the person coming in the opposite direction also feels good about it because you don't want to have a head-on collision. So the double yellow line on the road is a boundary. It's limiting you. The stop sign, the traffic light, those things are limiting you. In our lives, relationships, right? To have one wife is limiting you. We don't feel bitter about that. We don't resent it. We understand it. We value it. We have boundaries in our lives to the extent that something's important, that a goal that we need to achieve is in a place where we need help, that we need direction, that we need to have clear boundaries and guidelines and barriers and walls between us and between behaviors and choices and foods that are not in our best interest to choose. So that's what our food plan is. Our food plan is a wall, is a boundary between what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat. When we should eat it and when we shouldn't eat it. How much we should eat and how much we shouldn't eat. And what's the wall that we're really placing up, and what's on one side, what's on the other. What's inside the wall are our goals, our desires, our health, what we want. What's on the other side of the wall is our spontaneity, our impulsivity, what we feel like having. So what we do with our food plan, how we change our relationship with food, is understanding that we need to put a barrier between what we feel like doing and what we know we should do. Because if we don't put that barrier up, it's so easy for us to drive over that yellow line, intentionally or innocuously. And what happens time and time again? We just crash on the other side of the road, right? Into the oncoming traffic or into the gutter. That's what we do. That's what happens. And we wake up the next morning with that regret and that remorse. And we're so bitter about it. And we say, why did I do that again? How could I have done that again? How could I have crashed again? Only with a wall, only with boundaries, can we have a healthy, straight, consistent relationship with food. And that's what our food plan is. It's the GPS that helps guide us from point A to point B, from when we wake up until we go to sleep. And to tie a bow on this idea, it really, I think, amplifies and embodies that phrase that the president said. When we put a wall up, we're not showing that we hate the people on the outside of the wall. We're showing that we care and love the people inside of the wall. There's no greater self-care and self-love that you can share and invest in yourself than putting up your boundaries in your relationship with food. And that's why you want to embrace it. That's why you want to celebrate it. That's why you want to value it and have such gratitude that we have it. Not be bitter or resentful, but to have joy about it, because there's no greater self-care and self-love that you can provide for yourself than a healthy relationship with food. And by definition, a healthy relationship with food means having healthy, secure, clean, sturdy boundaries and walls. So you deserve to do that for yourself today. So don't be bitter about the wall, embrace the wall. So that wasn't about imagination at all, that was about reality. And this isn't the White House, this is just my office in Lakewood, New Jersey. But hopefully this is a message that will resonate with everyone. Thanks for watching, and always remember that nothing tastes as good as feeling good feels.